Hey everyone, how's it going? Hopefully that shows up fine with the light behind or in front of me. Kinda. Anyway, this is the better side for seeing stuff. Anyway, digress. You're probably wondering what this is. I've had videos on this in the past on insulating the weight pockets, and they are really beneficial when you do this. I've done them just slightly different for this window. This is the window at the base of our stairs that I've fallen through once because of a dog. But anyway, this is the outer cover you see on here. And you could reverse this and put, basically the foam is got a piece here. It has an aluminum siding or aluminum cover on the top and just this matte stuff on the back. But it's an R12, or no, again, I can't remember. I think it's an R12. Anyway, this aluminum siding reflects heat. So depending on how you have it in the window depends on how you have the heat during the hottest part of the year on versus the coldest. So technically I have some of these reversed. I have the foam on, or the aluminum on the outside to try to reflect heat back into the house once we have the heaters on. I'm still experimenting with that. And then I have it turned the other way with a matte finish to get the reflection of heat back to the outside, or the heat back into the pocket. Whatever gets in there. These are a little different. I know when I did the middle columns, which you can probably, those guys right there on either side, I could put a backer behind the weight pockets because there's no siding up between those windows, and so there's a allowance of about an inch behind the weights to allow to stick something in there, or a couple inches. And I was able to stick some of this foam insulating board behind the weights and then stick some of this in the front of the weights. And normally that stained glass window and that other window doesn't move. Normally they're fixed in position. Well, I didn't have the blocks to go underneath the windows. I didn't really want to do it. I had extra weights, on and on and on. So I was able to make that window movable. So it actually goes up and down now. But anyway, these have a lot less room in them. It's about 3 inches from side to side, 2.5, 3 inches from side to side, from the wall side to the frame. And really it's a tight space in there. I'll explain here. Let me pull some of these apart. So I don't have these set in yet. What I'm going to do is put the aluminum tape around it to kind of seal it off. And of course these joints will be sealed. So you notice I have a 1 inch, I think these are R3 or 4, on the inside of the cavity here. And I can barely see that because of the glare, and then you can see the weights in there, which clear it. So I had a choice. I could put some insulation against the window here, which is the coldest, because obviously you don't have any insulation on anything out there at all. So this helps in that because it's behind the whole pocket here. It goes all the way up. In fact, I got to take this piece out to show you the next thing. And so it goes pretty much all the way up. And then the weight's still free float in there. This one's a little wacky because it's off center. The rope's in there, right, but the weight must have been made this way. Most of the time they hang straight. And this one's kind of interesting the way I did this pocket. So I did foam at the top with a spray foam, the big gap spray foam, which is open cell foam. It doesn't have as much R value as, say, closed cell foam. And I had to tape a piece of foam board below it to keep it contained up there instead of drooping down and falling everywhere. And you can't see the other weight pulley. You can see this one, but the other one's on the other side. There's an inch between it, and it fits that foam board just fine. So I'm able to stick that between the two. I silicone that between the two. You can always remove it, but yeah, we'll go from there. Then I was able to stick this 1 inch board on the side, 1 inch in the middle, 1 inch on the other side. And then I was able to put holes where the ropes go. And the foam's not so hard that the rope won't just wear through the hole, because it will. I mean, it'll just wear its own hole in the insulation. The only thing this will be a pain to do is whenever you have to do ropes. And that's something I'll have to work out. We plan on having this house forever. So, I mean, I put new ropes in pretty much everything, except for this one because I'm experimenting. I found my rope finally. But, yeah, that's how that's all set up there. The weights do clear this lower part of the insulation. So they come up to about where they're showing here. Right there, so you got a few inches. And I got this foam board, which I silicone in place. This one's not siliconed yet. I gotta do that yet. Next step. And it goes all the way down the frame to where the bottom is spray foamed. So this area down here has been all spray foamed and leveled. And then this covers the weight pocket. It's a big draft hole in the weight pocket. And you can always cut that. It's pretty easy to cut it with a knife if you ever have to do the weights. It doesn't impede the door from opening. So I know there's... Then you put the cover on the back of it, which seals the whole thing in. And it does make a heck of a difference. It wasn't drafty over here like it is every year. We had we had temps in the 20s, the low 20s, or the mid 20s a couple days ago. We didn't have the heat hardly on, so we just have the heat on a little bit, like a quarter of what we'd normally have, if that. The house held at 61 degrees, at least the lower part, and then when we come down here, we turn them back on in an effort to save energy here. The utility company was able to do a makeup of what we're using energy-wise and heating and things like that. And our heat, to heat this place is like 45% of our heating or our electric cost. AC was very little. We don't use hardly any AC. We have window units. We have 3 down here. It does really well. And this is just going to help that so much more. But it's pretty bad when you're in here and you measure the temperature on the outside wood, the trim wood for the weight pockets, and it'd be in the 40s in the middle of winter. So you're like, yeah, this isn't doing anything. But now with the insulation in there, that should do a lot better. Anyway, a little short video, and hope everything's going well, and, happy October.